Good morning, children. We have already finished the 15th chapter, probability. I hope you must have completed the work in your books. Now we start with the first chapter, real numbers. 9th standard, I hope you recollect what we have come across in the very first chapter. You have learnt about rational, irrational numbers over there. In detail, we have learned what irrational numbers are, how to plot them on the number line. Do you remember? Root 2, root 13, root 29. Then we also plotted numbers like 2.3, 4.9, square root of 2.3, square root of 4.9 we had plotted on the number line. Then you also come across that number which are rational can be expressed in the form of P upon Q, where Q is not 0. Okay, and the decimal expressions can be terminating and non-recurring, or if they are non-terminating then they will be recurring. Both of the cases are rational numbers, whereas irrational numbers are non-terminating and non-recurring. Okay, these are some of the things which you have already come across in standard 9th. Now we'll learn something new this year, that's called Euclid's division lemma. Actually, it is nothing new. This Euclid's division lemma is nothing but what you have learnt in primary classes. You remember you expressed the number after dividing. When you divided a number, you were asked to express it in the form of dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. This is the same thing. A is equal to BQ plus R, where A is the dividend, B is the divisor, Q is the quotient, R is the remainder. And the remainder's value will always be from 0 till the number which is less than the divisor. Let us take example and find out whether it is true or not. Here we have taken up 3 numbers over here. Very simple divisions I have taken up. 17 you are dividing by 3. What will you get? 3 5s are 15, 2 remainder. 21 by 4, 4 5s are 20, 1 remainder. 127 by 25, 5s are 125, 2 remainder. Correct? Now if these are to be expressed in the form of dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, as we did in primary classes, how would you do that? You would express it in this way. Am I right? Here 17 will be written as 3 into 5 plus 2, where A is 17, B is 3, Q is 5, R is 2. Then 21. Correct? Similarly 127. This is how you would be expressing it. Now this is nothing but what I have written earlier, Euclid's. It is referred to as Euclid's division lemma, where A is equal to BQ plus R and the remainder will always be less than the divisor. See, divisor is 3, remainder can be 2. It can be 1 also and 0 also, but here the remainder is 2. It cannot be greater than the divisor. 4 is the divisor, remainder is 1. It's not 5. See, it can be from 1, it can be 0, 1, 2, 3, but it cannot be 5. Is that point clear? It cannot be 4 also. Therefore, it is less than B, it is not equal to B. Remember that. Neither it is greater than B. Same way 25. So 2 is the remainder. Clear? So therefore, this is very important thing. This is called Euclid's division lemma. Now, this year, how is it made use of? You are utilizing this particular knowledge to work out the HCF and LCM. You might say HCF and LCM we already learned in primary class. What is new about it? Well, you would work it out by the Euclid's method, Euclid's division lemma. One thing let me tell you very clearly, unless and until it's not specified by which method, you may do it by any method. Means primary method you can take up. HCF and LCM you can work out as you have done in primary classes, if the method is not specified. But if they ask you work it out by Euclid's method, Euclid's division method, then you have to work it by Euclid's method, and Euclid's method is A is equal to BQ plus R. Let us take up one example and understand it better. This is an example which I am trying to show it to you. HCF of 455 and 42. This is the sum given to you. How will you work out? Now, if I want to find out HCF of 455 and 42, Out of these two numbers, which one is greater? Obviously 455. So 455 is equal to the other number becomes the divisor. Dividend divisor. So I am dividing 455 by 42. So maximum it will go up till 10 times. 42 tens are 420. Remainder will be 35. Now in the next step what I am supposed to do is, now you cannot divide this further, no, this is over. So now 42, which was the divisor, becomes the dividend, and the remainder becomes the divisor. Did you understand? 42 divisor becomes dividend. So 42 now we are dividing by 35. So 35, 1 times will be 35, remaining will be 7. Correct? Again now 35, which is the divisor, becomes the dividend, and remainder becomes the divisor. So 35 is 7 5s are 35, 0 remainder, which means you have to perform the division in this way till you get the remainder 0. The moment you get the remainder 0, the step in which you are getting remainder 0, the divisor of that step becomes the HCF. So which is the divisor over there? 7. So 7 is the HCF of 455 and 42. You can check it out by your usual primary method, that is the factorization method. If you find out, you will get the same answer. Is that point clear or not? This way when you do it, it is called Euclid's method. Let us take one more example and understand it better. Here, the second example which I have put up is slightly lengthy. Am I right? Yeah. What is it given to you? It is mentioned HCF of 4052 and 12576, 12,576. Which one is greater? 12,576. So that is equal to 4052 becomes the divisor. Now 4052, if you work out 3 times, maximum can be possible. So 4052, if you multiply by 3, it will come to 420 will be the remainder. Is that point clear or not? Yeah. Now in the next step, now you cannot divide it further. So what should you do in the next step? This 4052, which was the divisor, now becomes the dividend, and 420, the remainder, becomes the divisor. So 420 9 times will go. What is maximum? It will go that much, because 420 tensa will be 4200, and this is lesser than 4200. So therefore 9 times it will go, and remaining will be 272. Now 420 becomes the dividend, 272 will become the divisor. It goes 1 times in 420, and 148 will be the remainder. 272 becomes the dividend, and 148 divisor. 148, 1 times 148, remaining is 124. 148 is divided by 124. Again 1 times, and 24 will be remainder. 124 is divided by the remainder 24, which becomes a divisor. So 24 5 times, and 4 will be remainder. 120 and 4 will be remainder. Now 24, which was divisor, becomes a dividend, and 4 remainder becomes a divisor. 4 6 are 24, 0. So see, series of Euclid's lemma method is done. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. We have carried out. Each time, for each step, the divisor becomes a dividend, and remainder becomes a divisor. That is the rule to be kept in mind. Okay, you don't do anything with the quotient. Remember, with quotient you don't do anything. You always are trying to divide the divisor by the remainder in the next step. Like that you keep on repeating till you get a 0 remainder. The step in which you are getting 0 as a remainder, the divisor over there is 4. So 4 is the LCM. Is this point clear or not? So this is how you carry out sum by the Euclid's lemma method. In the exercise, you are having first question, 3 sums are there. All the 3 I have worked out for you. Exercise 1.5, you have to find out HCF by the Euclid's method. So 135 and 225 is the first sum given to you. 225 is greater obviously, so 225 is 135 ones are, and remainder is how much? Yeah, 90. Then 135 is divided by 90, which was the remainder in the previous case, correct? And that is becoming the divisor now. Ones are 45 will be remainder. Now 90 is divided by 45, twos are 0. So In this step, which one is the divisor? 45. So 45 is the HCF. Next sum, second sum over there is 38220 and 196. Now this is a very interesting sum. In the previous cases, you had 3 steps over here. Here you had considerable steps to get 0. Here you had again 3 steps to get the third step, you are getting 0. But here is a sum in which in the very first step itself you are getting 0. Do you understand that? When you are dividing this number by 196, 196 into 195 is this particular value. It's completely divisible. And you get 0 as a remainder. So this is the divisor, quotient, answer, remainder. Dividend is equal to divisor, quotient and remainder. So the when you get 0, I told you the step in which you get 0, the divisor becomes a HCF. So here in the very first step itself, you are getting 0 and there the divisor is 196. So HCF will be 196. The third sum over there is 867 is divided by 255. So 255 3 times and 102 will remain. 255 is divided by 102. So that will be 2 times 204 and 51 will remain. 102 if you divide by 51 it is 2 times and 0 will remain. So in this step divisor is 51 and hence 51 is the HCF. Clear about it? One more sum. The third section is again on HCF. It is 616 to be divided by 32. So 616 will be 32 into 19 times and 8 will remain. 32 is divided by 8, which is the remainder of the previous step. Okay, divisor becomes dividend, remainder becomes divisor. 8 4s are 32 and 0. So in this step, the divisor is 8 and hence the HCF is 8. Did you understand? So what I explained just now is few sums from the exercise. The exercise is given over here. See, here I worked out the first 3 sums as well as the third one. The 616 and 32 which I showed is actually a problem given to you. That problem was that there is an army contingent of 616 members. They are supposed to walk or march in a band of 32 members in the parade. Now you should know that how many columns are there. Maximum number of columns which can be made out of 616 members with 32 members behind 32 members in the parade. So how should you work out? If you want the maximum number of columns, maximum number means HCF. So you are supposed to find the HCF between 616 and 32, and that is what I worked it out and showed it to you. Now what you come to know is in this exercise, remaining questions I have not taken, second, fourth and fifth. All these are prove that sums which we will take up later. Is that point clear? At present I am taking all the calculative sums which is comparatively easier. So the exercise 1.1 is over. Okay, so you will complete this work in your classwork. I hope you understood the Euclid's method. So in the next class we will take up fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Thank you.